Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790, and we're trying to make connection to our good friend Mark Rose he's up at La Crosse, I think, fishing this weekend. Huh? Wisconsin, that's right, the Cheeseheads. He's up there on the Mississippi River, and so we're going to try to hook up with him, and if we don't, I know he's fishing, so he may be a little bit busy on this Saturday morning, so we'll see, So we're talking with Frank Barton and Bill Cooksey on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and the newest edition of the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing News is on the shelves wherever you might find it, or just go online.
Should be in your mailbox.
Go online and get it for 12 issues for 1 year. That's the Cooksey special. It's been going for many years. I think it has, at least like that. Where can you get a magazine sent to you, mailed to you, with anywhere from 48 to 64 pages for $12? And so, and you might read some of my stupid stuff I have in there, but I try. And Cooksey Bill, of course, was my editor, the editor before me. It's hard to follow big footsteps, like this. And somehow they talked me into doing this. And Bill said, "Oh, don't worry, it only take about a week." To do it and everything like that. Yeah, it takes you a month to prepare for it, though.
It's a lot to get ready for. To get that week done, there's a lot that goes into it.
And one of the things that goes into it is I copy read it, and some of the stuff doesn't go into it,
Yeah.
But you got it left over for next month if everything's right. And
they call that evergreen.
Oh, they do.
I learned that.
You learned that.
Yeah.
I haven't learned that from our designer, Michael Osborne, but hey, go to the website. I like suggestions. Email me. There's places for you to email me for suggestions. I picked up some new writers. They're not new, they're old. But I've added writers to it. And, of course, Frank is one of the big supporters of the magazine, and he has the ad that's always right there on the second page, right before you get to read my whatever it might be called, that So pick it up, Bill. How long did you do that?
2 years.
2 years. So is that the load limit? I just want to make sure that
you have to make 2 years.
I have to make 2 years.
That's part of the deal.
Read your contract, Larry.
I did. What contract? Okay. What contract are we talking about? This thing's been around for 30 years.
Yep.
And I can go back to Taylor Wilson.
Absolutely.
And before that was
Chris. Dorsey did it at one time.
Chris Dorsey did it for a while. Did the guy that died? I know him top of my head right now. I'm sorry. Gillespie.
John Gillespie.
Yes. Yeah.
When I moved to Memphis in '92, that one of the first things I did was start subscribing to that magazine.
And it's been around.
And I learned a lot about the area, and actually ended up meeting a lot of people because of the magazine.
Well, we're not just trying to hound you with it, but it's got Bill Dance in there if you want to get that. The 2 cents worth is mine. Joe Sills is the one and only. We could talk about him a long time because he's a legend around here, and of course his son is the one that does the fishing retailer. That does a lot of work for that. It's the only place you're going to find the tables that I call it.
Tables.
They're in there, and a fishing report. And the regional roundup.
I like the regional roundup because that's got a lot of information that you won't find any other place.
Okay, well, we've been debating that,
and I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I am too,
because it makes it worthwhile. That's one of the most difficult things.
It is
putting
to put
that magazine together.
And you're limited to 1,400 words. I think my first one was about 2,000 words, and trying to get. Cause we do cover Missouri and Kentucky. Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee.
A little bit into Alabama.
A little bit into Alabama, but the fishing report, there is no other fishing report. I mean, you know that. So we have added some writers that maybe you have heard from in the past. John Sloan is in here. There's no one more dedicated to writing. I think he's already sent his stories in for September,
Wow.
off the top of his head. And we do need more pictures, and Bill was always talking about that, right, Bill, to get pictures sent in because
it's funny. I worked at the magazine back in the late 90s, and we would come in on Monday mornings, and there would be 100 photos that had been shoved under the door in Brownsville.
Yeah.
And more 100. Coming in the mail. Yeah, we had to sort through and pick photos. Now people, all they have to do is click a button and email it from their phone, and a lot of folks just don't think about it.
And Frank, you're one of the sponsors of this, the photo contest, aren't you? I think you are.
Oh, yeah, with the hunting section.
The hunting section.
This month it was pictures of turkeys.
It was pictures of turkeys, and it's gone hunting and gone fishing. Picking a winner on that is pretty hard. Yes,
it is.
You try to pick out, people, things like that, and it's hard to do. But anyway, Mid-South Hunting and Fishing News. Undoubtedly, Mr. Rose is catching fish. He's entered one of his sponsors is Seaguard.
Seaguar Line?
Seaguar Line, which has been around. I was kind of, I didn't really realize this, and where is that? Because I'm big on information here on this, that this 1971 fluorocarbon started.
It was the saltwater people knew Seaguar.
Yeah, it was.
Now, we redneck bass fishermen like me had never heard of it.
That's why they call it the Red Label Line.
That's right.
Because it went back to the rednecks.
They had to get to us somehow.
They had to get to it somehow. But 1971, and, when I looked at this, and they are the inventor of fluorocarbon fishing line. I just thought it was always there. I don't remember. We just had mono.
We just had mono.
Now,
you started off with cotton braid,
I started off with a cotton braid, yeah. And it was a long shoestring.
By the time you reached middle age, they came out with monofilament.
You have anything to say, Frank? Can we get off of this? We're on to age right here,
Your
right now.
Your birthday's coming up.
You want me to come rescue in?
Yeah, you need to come rescue me.
All right, let's talk about what happened in the regional roundup.
Yes.
And we were almost got a chance to talk to Ricky the last segment about did feral hogs run
into
did that come into his news? But we got so much on alligators that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But there was I was reading this
the hogs
during the thing. Mississippi Game and Fish arrested a ring. That's the only way I know
illegal
how to put it.
Hog selling operation.
They were trapping hogs and selling them. And I know that was a big problem in East Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of concern about people commercial hunting hogs in East Tennessee and bringing hogs in.
Yeah.
And here we got folks that are
selling them.
Yeah.
To take someplace and let loose, I guess. I mean,
the reason TWRA, a lot of folks condemned them for it, but when they made it illegal to hunt hogs in Tennessee, we can't sport hunt hogs, and it was all to try to disincentivize that.
Right.
But they reproduce so much. I mean, that it's hard to stay ahead of them. You're talking about alligators exploding. I mean, I think they do they have 2 litters a year, something like that?
Hogs?
3.
3 litters a year, really?
3.
Now, do you have them? Do you see them in?
I've got them on my on my farms, and they're nuisance. We have folks come in. There's people that do it for recreation. They have dogs and they run hogs, and they don't trap them. They kill them.
Yeah.
We had a group come in earlier this year, and they killed 26, I think roughly 26 hogs one day on the farm. They came back in 3 weeks or 4 weeks later. I think it's about 3 weeks later, and did 42.
Really?
Yeah. And which was really surprising.
Yeah.
They got more the second time, and they did, the first time, and we're still seeing them. I mean, it's not like they're a big problem.
Well, I mean,
it's a big problem. I mean, I understand Tennessee understand the approach of not doing it.
It'll only work for so long. All it was set up to do was slow it down, and then eventually they're here, and all bets are off.
Right. Yeah, there's no season in Arkansas. It's not considered a regulated species.
So you can kill them anytime.
That's right. It's not right.
Yeah. I have a friend in Texas who manages, I believe it's 72,000 acres.
Yeah.
And they kill thousands every month. They actually have a gun on a turret in a helicopter they at times use.
Right.
It's just
Is it the same kind of hog that we have here?
Yeah, they're just feral hogs.
They're just feral hogs. Isn't that something? You know, I mean, I'm a Razorback fan, but that ain't the hog I'm shooting at. I mean, these things are and damage. They can
they're awful.
Root up and as Frank was saying there, but anyway, we're going to try to hook up some other time with Mark Rose and catch up on him. Sorry we couldn't get him on today's show, but the Cigar people set it up, and I actually text Mark before I went to bed last night. And so,
if the Mississippi River there is like the Mississippi River here, there's a good chance he doesn't have a cell signal wherever he happens to be.
Well, he thought he would. I mean, he did last night, but he may not when he's on the water.
Tell Mark I was cutting him slack.
Oh, you were cutting him slack, yeah. Well, hey, one thing about Mark, and I'm a Mark Rose fan. I went back and there's a video of Mark that was just on the Major League Fishing Inside Access with Allie Akers right now, just posted not too long ago, end of April, 22,715 views of that one video.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty cool, and Mark is fourth in those standings. He's had a little struggle after winning back-to-back, which I guess everybody would, but we'll try to get him. Go to roseoutdoors.com and catch up with him. So we're going to take a break, come back, and I know this guy will probably be out in the boat someplace. I'm not sure. Which one are we going to first? Yeah, we're going to Steve, and we'll have a surprise guest after Steve because she'll come waltzing into the room here, as she always does. And, of course, I love Steve's music, too. So, all right, let's take a break. Be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
You can find out